Had to break up with your Yandere boyfriend. Definitely no consequences. 100%, right? Definitely you won't find the worst ending possible from the get go. Just don't. Yeah, okay. Type your username. There you go. Oops. I've typed the username. Oh my. I had to go through my wish list a few months ago and cut like half of the list. Okay, save. There you go. Voice. Hey Mira. It's not audio. Oh, there you go. The sound of your name jolts you back to reality. It's loud. It's loud for me. Right. You blink, realizing you've been staring blankly at your computer screen for who knows how long, doing absolutely nothing. Your gaze drifts to the clock on the wall, still office hours, before shifting to the person who called your name. It's your coworker, the one you've been working closely with for a while now. Unlike the person she replaced, the two of you get along surprisingly well. For a moment, you just stare blankly at the files she's extended towards you. They need some last minute changes before sending them to the client. Something about increasing the font size by a point. She mimics your boss's mannerism perfectly, coaxing a faint smile from you. As you take the files, your fingers instinctively return to the keyboard, tapping out the same monotonous rhythm as always. You still haven't talked to him, have you? A few people pass by your desk, arguing loudly, but you keep your eyes fixed on the screen and mutter, "Not yet." How much longer are you going to delay this? It won't change anything. I know. Your coworker takes a sip from her mug without lifting her hands from the keyboard, then grimaces. Thanks to your boss dragging out the meeting, the coffee's gone ice cold. You can't keep doing this. Weren't you dead set on telling him last night? You roll your eyes dramatically and exhale, knowing full well she won't see it. I tried, but in the middle of our video call, his dog suddenly started throwing up. How was I supposed to drop a breakup on him like that? I'm not that heartless. Was it serious? You tried to recall the last message your boyfriend sent you this morning. I think she swallowed something or had an allergic reaction. Either way, I'm sure she's fine now. Soren took her to the vet this morning. Perfect opportunity. Call him somewhere after work and talk. But Soren would never leave his dog alone like that. He's crazy attached to her. It'll only take half an hour. No way. How am I supposed to explain why I'm breaking up with him in half an hour? Impossible. Why are you breaking up with him if you're like Birano Sangka? People break up with a single text these days. That's way too harsh. Besides, he'd never accept it. Your coworker suddenly stops typing and turns to you, confused. You don't need him to accept it. Just tell him you don't feel the same anymore. Unless that's not actually the case. Your fingers freeze mid-type. Of course it is. Alright, don't get mad, but if you're so sure about breaking up, why keep delaying it? You swallow hard before answering, as if you've been asking yourself the same thing. Of course, this isn't the kind of question you can resolve in the middle of a workday, mid-conversation with a coworker. Ugh, I don't know, maybe I'm just not as good at breaking hearts as you are. See? More excuses. Maybe you should reconsider. You might regret it later. No, I have to end it. Like I said, my feelings changed. I know how good he is to me, how devoted he is, but I can't return it. Lately, I've been thinking about my ex. Oh? Defensive now, your voice rises slightly. Not that I want him back, it's just things were so different with him. Maybe Soren and I just aren't right for each other. To your surprise, your coworker nods. That's fair. I'm sure he'll be happier with someone else too. You're right, I'll tell him today, and this time I mean it. Just then, the files on your desk tremble slightly, startling you. What is this? Oh, is this like a game background? It takes you a second to realize it's just your phone vibrating beneath them, but the moment you see his name flashing on the screen, an odd tension coils in your chest. Your eyes dart to your coworkers. It's him. Unlike you, she looks almost excited, nudging you towards the phone. Perfect timing. Check what he wrote. Whose printout is this? It got mixed with mine. Someone's grumbling with the printer and your coworker jumps up in a hurry. Left alone, you hesitate. A part of you dreads whatever new complication this message might bring. Something that could unravel your resolve. Your finger hovers finally before tapping the screen. You exhale sharply, leaning back in your chair and closing your eyes. Waiting for test results, but they said she ate something she shouldn't have. Hey love, we finished early at the vet, so I went shopping. Got those ribs you love, cooking a special dinner tonight. Just the two of us, what do you say? Oy oy oy. Your coworker rushes back, paper in hand. What do you say? You glance around the office, making sure no one's paying attention, and show her the message. This is great. All you have to do is go, then explain things as kindly as possible. From what I remember at the company dinner, Soren seems like a very reasonable, kind guy. You'll end things clean, no drama. Okay, but I know the title of the game. You have no doubt Soren is reasonable, level-headed even. And yet, the thought of having that conversation stirs an inexplicable unease in you. You can't explain why. Soren's the definition of ordinary. Dog, remote job, weekends split between bad movies and you. No surprises, no drama, just life. Painfully ordinary. Maybe that's part of why you want to leave. Compared to your ex? No. You can't make that comparison yet, not until this is over. With a quick tap on the keyboard, you reply. Of course, I'll be there. The rest of the workday passes in a hectic blur, yet somehow faster than you expected. By the time you're packing up and chatting with coworkers on your way out, you realize you're in the best mood you've been in for days. Something tells me there's going to be drama. Oh, probably. Your coworker flashes you a knowing smile before parting ways. Don't forget to text me updates. I'll be waiting. But the moment dinner crosses your mind, all your anxieties come crashing back down like a weight on your shoulders. You freeze mid-sidewalk, earning a few annoyed bumps from passerby. Alright, see you. Since you need to stop by your place first, you hurry into the crowded metro and pull out your phone only to find bad news waiting. No, Soren hasn't cancelled. Worse, you completely forgot to pick up your dress from the dry cleaners for your best friend's birthday party tomorrow. We notice you haven't picked up your dress yet. It's freshly clean and waiting for you at Suds and Suds. Don't forget to stop by during our hours, Monday to Friday, 8 AM to 7 PM. Your stomach drops as you reread the reminder text, double-checking the shop's address and hours. The dry cleaner is in the exact opposite direction of Soren's place. If you go now, you'll definitely be late for dinner. Your other option? Skip the party entirely. With tomorrow's big client meeting, your boss won't give you even an hour's break, and you can't exactly show up to your friend's fancy venue in some random outfit. Ooh, okay, I see, okay. So, listen. I know the title of the game. I want to see what happens if I just fucking am late for dinner. I want to see what happens if I'm late for dinner, so I'm gonna swing by the dry cleaners. The weight of the impending conversation with Soren already presses down on you, but right now, more than anything, you need this, an evening with friends, a chance to breathe. You owe yourself that small mercy. Besides, Mia isn't just any friend, she's your childhood confidant. You could never abandon her on her birthday. You have... Hey, listen, would I end up dead in a ditch? 100%. You hop off the metro and power walk to the dry cleaners, arriving just before closing time. As you clutch the freshly cleaned dress and step back onto the street, a wave of relief washes over you. Tomorrow's party will be perfect if you make it. You'll laugh, you'll forget, you'll live. But then it hits you. You need to text Soren. A pang of guilt stabs your chest as you hit send. You should explain, but how? Hey, running a bit late, something urgent came up after work. I hope that's okay. His reply pings instantly. No worries, babe. Don't rush, be careful. I can come pick you up if you like. He's so nice. The message conjures a memory. Your last night out together, rushing downstairs in heels, one snapping mid-step. You'd nearly tumbled headfirst if he hadn't caught you. You'd bury that humiliating moment, yet he remembers. Thanks, but no need. I'll keep you posted. You rush home, shower in a haze, and throw on something comfortable before sliding into the waiting Uber. Of course, you don't forget to text Soren. On my way now. Great, babe, we're waiting for you. The word we sends an involuntary ripple of unease through your until you remember. Right, him and his dog, like always. Tonight you won't tolerate any distractions. No excuses, no turning back. Since Soren's place is quite far from the city center, you have plenty of time during the journey, and the questions that have been weighing on your mind for days resurface once again. Is breaking up with him truly the right decision? I don't know. If you were to bypass your indecisive reasoning and instead trust your feelings, just as you intended to tonight, you would find your answer crystal clear. You no longer want to continue this relationship. There's something wrong here, something that simply feels wrong to you. Just then, your phone buzzes with a notification, pulling you from your thoughts. Assuming it's a message from your boyfriend, you reach for your phone, but the name that flashes across the screen makes your heart involuntarily quicken its pace. Oh, is that the ex? Lars. Your ex-boyfriend. This is your ex? Or rather, the ex-boyfriend who has been creeping into your thoughts more and more often lately. Why? Hi, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Sorry if I'm bothering you. I just wanted to know if you're coming to the party tomorrow. Oh, no. Is that why you want to go to the party? I thought it was your friend's birthday party. As you read the message, an inexplicable thrill rises within you. Knowing Lars' fondness for crowded, lively gatherings, and the fact that he shares mutual friends with Mia, whose birthday is tomorrow, you're certain he'll be there. But what puzzles you is why, after all these months of silence, his first message is about this. You have no idea. Should you respond? Your fingers hesitate over the screen, your inner voice whispering that it could be a mistake. Yet another part of you burns to know, has he really moved on and aches to answer him. This feels like a trap. This feels like a trap. This is a trap. If I didn't know the title of the game, right? She says that she's thinking about her ex, right? She's going to go to the party anyway. She's not lying. I picked up her dry cleaning. She's gonna go to the party. If she lives through the night. But this is 100% a trap. Sure, text him. Finally, you overcome your hesitation and let your fingers tap against the keyboard. Hi Lars, yeah, it has really been a while. I haven't decided about the party yet. Oops. Either way, there's no need for Lars to know all that. Your thumb hovers over send. Just as you're about to slide the phone into your pocket, another vibration pulses against your palm. I understand. The speed of the reply surprises you, especially considering Lars has never exactly known for being prompt when it came to answering texts. Oh, he has your ex's phone. That's not good. I also realized my question must have sounded stupid. I just figured you'd be coming with your boyfriend. And if you two were going to be there, I was thinking of skipping it. This is not healthy behavior, which is really not a surprise, but now I'm just undecided as you are. There's something about Lars' message so different from the careless, confident Ada you remember that leaves you momentarily unsure of how to interpret them. So you realize that this is not the person you're texting. What you do understand is that he seems less interested in whether you're attending the party and more concerned about whether your boyfriend will be there. But why? A strange unease stirs inside you as you realize that beyond you, Soren and Lars have absolutely nothing in common. Should you ask him about it? Or should you end the conversation here and focus on the last evening you'll spend with Soren? Oh no, I think this is Soren that has either a duplicate of the ex's phone or he has the ex's phone, in which case the ex might not be around. Let's go fishing. Ask him. The gnawing pull of curiosity quickly overwhelms your hesitation, feeding your unease. Thankfully, tonight Lars seems to have abandoned all his old habits and he doesn't avoid giving you a clear, direct answer. So whether you go to the party depends on us? Yes. Or rather, I'm obviously not lumping you in with him. I just don't want to run into your boyfriend and end up ruining the night for both of us. A thought you never would have considered, something that had never crossed your mind, suddenly surfaces. This time, even though you see that Lars is online, he doesn't reply right away. That's... Did something happen between you and Soren behind my back? Well, you'd be better off asking him that. Oh? What happened? It's not my place to interfere in your relationship. I never would go to that conclusion. I'm not good at this, apparently. At what? Yandere romances? I played a lot. It's just thinking back to the past. I wish things had turned out differently. Oh no, this is not good. Though you know Lars was never the kind to apologize to anyone, his final messages somehow feel like an apology. No, I don't think it's an apology. You admit you still miss him? Absolutely not. It doesn't really matter anymore. Correct. You had once longed to hear words like that from him. Back then, you had been ready to forgive all his mistakes without hesitation. But that was before you met Soren, before your relationship with him began. Now, after experiencing Soren's steady, caring love, the kind that made you feel truly safe, you find yourself far less willing to return to the passionate, thrilling, yet exhausting days you once shared with Lars. There's this bar on the left side, yeah? It says break up with him. I'm not sure, I didn't notice it until now. Was the bar full at the start and it's getting emptier? Meaning, she wants to break up with him less? Or what? Even though Lars' message hint that maybe he too has changed, you are determined to tread carefully this time. Still, the idea of seeing or speaking to him at tomorrow's birthday party doesn't seem quite as terrible as it once would have. Pushing all thoughts of Lars aside for now, you turn your attention back to Soren. As you step out of the Uber, you notice that the light patter of raindrops tapped against the car window has turned into a steady downpour. Seeing how dark the sky has grown, you check the time on your phone only to realize you're running later than you thought. The realization sends a ripple of tension through you. You pick up your pace, crossing the small garden of Soren's house, an old but sturdy-looking two-story detached home. Its renovation is perpetually postponed. You rush beneath the pergola at the entrance, doing your best to shield yourself from the rain. As you press the doorbell, you take a moment to notice how the neighborhood, made up entirely of similar detached houses, remained just as calm and quiet as ever, rain or not. Soon, the muffled sound of footsteps and distant dog barks pierce through the hum of the rain. Then the door swings open, and there he is. Why are you wearing a Christmas sweater? Is it Christmas? Despite the difference in your height, he leans forward just enough for you to clearly see the warm smile spreading across his face. Welcome, love. Come on in. Don't get any wetter. Why are you wearing a Christmas sweater? He steps aside to let you in, and as you cross the threshold, the familiar warmth of the house wraps around you. The contrast between it and the cool, damp air outside, or perhaps the weight of what's about to happen, sends a faint shiver down your spine. Case in point, probably not ideal to go to the person's house who you're breaking up with, who lives in the middle of nowhere, outside of the city, where you need to take a taxi to get there because you don't have your own means of transportation. Just saying. Just then, Soren closes the door swiftly behind you and turns to face you. Do nothing. Absolutely do nothing. Do nothing. It might be best to put a little distance between you and him, especially with the breakup talk still looming ahead. So instead of hugging or kissing him like you usually would, you settle for a warm smile. Unlike you, Soren leans in and presses a small kiss to your cheek, either unaware of your reserved demeanor or choosing to ignore it. No sudden moves. Oh, is that the dog? It's so cute. Just then, the dog trots over to the door where you're both standing, her tiny body trembling with excitement as she begins to growl at you with surprising volume for her size. You notice the wet mark around her mouth and immediately understand Soren must have tried to distract her with food before opening the door, hoping to soften her mood. But clearly, she couldn't be bothered to finish her snack when the opportunity to antagonize you was so tempting. You miss Mira too, didn't you, princess? Oh, she did not. She's cute though. Princess is a small, greedy, one-eyed chihuahua mix that Soren adopted, and though he refuses to admit it, she absolutely has anger issues. Oh, that's an angry rat. It is. Truthfully, with her temperament and the eye patch she wears, Private would have been a far more fitting name. Don't mind her, she always gets a little sensitive after the vet. Oh, of course, no problem. But you know damn well it has nothing to do with the vet. She despises you from the moment you met, for reasons you've never understood. Not that you can say that to Soren, who somehow still believes that his princess is the sweetest, gentlest dog alive. Luckily, as long as he is around, her hatred doesn't escalate beyond bare teeth and growls. So as you both head to the living room, she settles for glaring daggers at your back. Ask about the dog's condition? Yeah, sure. Princess is completely fine, right? As always, his eyes soften the moment his dog is mentioned. Yes, definitely. She just ate something she shouldn't have, and as you can see, she's already back to her usual self. Even though you and this tiny, angry dog don't exactly get along, you still feel relieved by his words, especially after remembering how anxious he was last night. I'm glad it wasn't anything serious. You were really worried. Soren nods, and a slightly sheepish smile pulls at the corners of his lips. Okay, this is hitting a few too uncomfortable memories for, so I'm gonna drop out and do it again. Okay! Yeah, I guess I panicked thinking I might actually lose her. I must have ruined your night too. Hopefully tonight's dinner makes up for it. No, please don't say that. Will Princess be joining us for dinner too? Could you take her to another room, accept your fate, and let the dog silently judge you through dinner? Accept your fate! And let the dog silently judge you through dinner. Oh no. Will Princess be joining us for dinner too? He lets out a soft laugh at your question. Unfortunately, she wasn't patient enough to wait for dinner with you, my love. Of course, that's not exactly what you meant, especially with the princess glaring at you like a tiny beast ready to pounce. Thankfully, he seems to notice your unease and doesn't push this joke any further. She'll probably fall asleep soon and head off to her bed. Doubtful. The moment you step into the living room, the mouth-watering aroma of fried ribs spill out from the kitchen wrapped around you. How much of a yandere is he supposed to be? Are the ribs my ex? A single glance at the table tells you everything. The carefully arranged plates, the candles casting their warm glow, your favorite wine chilling in an ice bucket. I don't like wine. The painfully clear how much effort Soren put into the dinner, and the guilt inside you swells just a little more. How many of your exes ever cooked a meal like this for you? Better question, how many ever cooked for you at all? Not reheated leftovers, not takeout, cooked. Was there even one among them who appreciated a meal you prepared? Alright, fine, you'll give Lars a pass there. After all, you can't ignore the extravagant restaurants he took you to. But one thought lingers, refusing to be dismissed. Maybe the real problem isn't this relationship, but your own feelings. Maybe what you should do is silence those unreliable emotions, the ones that keep dragging you into the wrong relationships, and finally listen to logic. Maybe instead of breaking up with Soren, you should be proposing to him. Oh, we can propose. Yeah, sure. It's 2025. But why should Soren accept a proposal from someone like you? He has a better job, a nicer house, a reliable car, a beloved dog, hobbies that fulfill him, and a life that seems to be going perfectly well. Meanwhile, you have nothing but a job you constantly complain about, a few old friends, weak family ties, and a bunch of trauma and debt left over from the terrible past relationships. I see what you mean. The only thing you can offer him are your rather feeble love compared to his, some sex, and maybe a bit of charm, and a whole lot of chatter. No, you're not being too harsh on yourself. You just want to remind yourself of a truth, that's all. Unlike your previous partners, you've never understood what exactly keeps him in this relationship. Could this be what they call true love? No? Sorry girl, I can't help you. Honestly, you really don't think so. Whatever it is that draws him to you, you're sure it's something that could fade, run out, or diminish at any moment. Yep. If that happens later, it'll be even worse for both of you, so the best thing to do is end it now. I see where she's going with this. You quickly jump in, try to come up with an excuse for your unusual long silence caused by your thoughts. Everything looks amazing. I'm so glad you like it. The food's almost ready. Do you need any help? No need, darling. I've got it. Please just sit and relax for a bit. You must be tired from trying to make it in time for dinner. You'd forgotten all about being late since you hadn't said a word about it until now. But now, even the subtle remark from Soren is enough to unsettle your peace, what little of it may still be left. You quickly begin crafting several possible explanations in your head for why you were late, ones that don't involve the birthday party tomorrow and that he is unlikely to question. But he doesn't give you a chance to lie. After checking on his dog, who has now gone to her bed in the corner, Soren smiles at you and disappears down the hallway. While you wait for him, maybe you could do something. Why lie? Just tell him you want to go pick up the dress for a birthday party. And if you're breaking up with him, tell him that he's not going with you. Stay here in the living room. Go to the kitchen. Go to the kitchen? Even though Soren didn't ask for your help, you feel it wouldn't be right to just sit back and relax while he prepares something for you in the kitchen. Besides, it's your last evening together. Of course, the presence of the dog, still curled up in the bed, yet clearly alert, might have also influenced your decision. As his footsteps fade down the hallway, you leave the living room and follow him into the spacious, airy kitchen, nothing like the small open kitchen in your studio apartment. The moment you step inside, you're startled by the sight of the kitchen table already lined with messes, salads, and other dishes. Soren, really, you didn't need to go through all this trouble. He, standing at the corner with his back to you, turns his head at the sound of your voice. Or counter, not corner. You told me lately you've been skipping meals because of work. We need to take care of your nutrition, darling. I don't want you getting sick. Oh. You can't even remember when you said that to him. Probably just slipped out during one of your usual phone rants about how your boss dumps all the work on you. Yet somehow, he always seems to care more about the things you say than even you do. Your voice quivers slightly as you speak. It's very thoughtful, thank you. Don't mention it, darling. You know I always enjoy doing things for you, so don't worry about anything tonight, just enjoy it. Wait in the living room, offer to help him. Driven by the definite need to ease your guilt, you jump in. I want to help. I can chop those spinach leaves, for example. He lifts his head from the bowl he's mixing ingredients in and glances at the bunch of spinach you point to, smiling. I think we already have enough spinach for the salad, darling. Just having you here is enough for me. But if you really insist, I'd appreciate it if you could tidy up a bit, especially if you could put those spinach leaves back in the fridge before they spoil any further. Oh, of course. You're relieved to have something to do, and you begin putting away the items that have been used in the meal prep and then forgotten. At the very least, you hope that after everything is over and you leave his house, you'll have shortened that painful phase when Soren cleans up and feels like all his effort was for nothing. Meanwhile, your eyes are drawn to a small pile of knives stacked haphazardly at the far end of the table. They're clearly large, broad, and sturdy, no doubt about that. But you can't quite imagine what they're used for in a normal kitchen. And despite how solid they look, the knives seem quite old. Judging by their worn handles and dull sheen, they're definitely been used many times. Even without leaning in too close, you can smell the harsh scent of cleaning chemicals that clings to them. Asks Soren. Unable to continue curiosity, you call out to him, who still has his back to you. What are those knives for? What are the knives for? Caught off guard by the sudden question, he turns towards you with the pan still in his hand. Huh? Oh, those are my grandfather's butcher knives. When he closed the shop, he sold most of his large tools and machines, but he kept the knives because he loved them. You lightly touch the sharp edge of one of the blades with your finger. They seem pretty sharp. Do you use them often? He chuckles softly and returns the pan to the stove. They still come in handy from time to time, sure. But mostly I just clean them now and then and keep them for sentimental reasons. Let me handle them, sweetheart. You might hurt yourself. You're right, I'm clumsy enough as it is. I think we're eating your ex. Heeding his warning, you back away from the knives and open the fridge door to put away the last few items from the table. As you do, your attention is drawn to the top shelf, packed with plastic wrap packages of meat. It's clear he recently stocked up, but there's a problem. Only a few packages seem store-bought. Most of them don't have any kind of label indicating date, type, or weight. A chill runs down your spine. What if the mouth-watering smell filling the kitchen right now is coming from one of those packages? Where did you get this meat, Soren? I don't see any dates on them. You can't stop your voice from trembling slightly. They're fresh cuts from a butcher I trust. They're absolutely nothing to worry about, sweetheart. Is the butcher you? I never poison you. You're always safe with me. Oh, that's not what I meant. Your cheeks flush involuntarily and you feel embarrassed, as if a secret had just slipped out. The memory is still fresh. Your mother, who was never fond of cooking or taking care of you or your sister, once poisoned you both with expired food while trying to prove something to your constantly criticizing father. It was something you never told anyone, not even Soren. Trying to brush it off and move past the odd moment, you say the first thing that comes to mind. You've definitely been eating a lot of meat lately. I'm just trying to stick to my diet with the new weight training I've been starting. So tell me, do you think it's paying off? I thought I can give a proper answer with that sweater on. The words slip out before you can stop them, and you immediately regret your thoughtless remark, but his response catches you even more off guard. I could take it off if you'd like. Sir, she's here to break up with you. I don't think this is a good idea. As your gaze shifts to him, you catch something intense in his eyes and you feel a rush of heat starting in your belly and spread through your body. You haven't had sex with him since the thought of breaking up first crossed your mind. That period has been unusually long for you, yet you never thought of it as strange. Soren has always been more reserved and understanding than your previous boyfriends, and intimacy has never been a big part of your relationship. But now, you notice he's being more forward than ever. Unless you're going to burn the meat, how about after dinner? Oh. Unless you're going to burn the meat. Your voice trails off towards the end of the sentence, fading into silence. It feels like your reason is clashing with your impulses, but before you can tell which side is winning, he turns off the stove with a teasing smile and walks towards you. Oh boy. Hold on, wait, I'm pretty sure my ex is in your fridge. Maybe this is not a good idea. This is the second game in which I play that someone's in the fridge. As the distance between you vanishes, his hand slides to your waist, pulling you towards him. When his lips touch your neck, you forget everything for a moment, including your plan to break up with him. His warm lips travel up your neck to your ear, lightly biting your earlobe, sending a hot shiver down your spine as he whispers, "I'll take it off after dinner. That way, I won't have to put it back on." The mention of dinner triggers alarm bells in your head, and just like that, you manage to pull yourself away from him and his effect on you, at least for now. He, as if he wasn't trying to seduce you moments ago, continues in a casual tone. "If you want, we can sit down before the meat gets cold." "Sure." You pause for a moment before leaving the kitchen, trying to make sense of what just happened. Thinking about having a quickie with your soon-to-be ex-boyfriend in the kitchen is quite frankly unbelievable. Your inability to control your impulses is clearly still a serious problem for you. You vividly remember how Lars noticed this issue and used it against you time and time again during your relationship. Could Soren be about to do the same? You could never be like Lars, in both good ways and bad ways. How could you fall for the same trick twice? Lars' charm had been tested and approved by many, unfortunately. You can't really say the same for Soren, but that doesn't mean you don't find him attractive. On the contrary, you feel like he's already succeeded in messing with your head. If you're feeling this way before dinner even starts, you can't imagine what the end of the evening will bring. Still, you know you have to take your chance. How long have they been dating? I'm not sure. Your final dinner with Soren begins like any other, despite the tension churning inside you. As the scent of the warm lamb chops he's just served reaches your nose, you realize you're actually hungry. Is it lamb? Is it lamb? He takes a seat across from you at the table and offers an encouraging smile. "Please try it, love. I hope you'll like it." After everything he's done to prepare this for you, there's no way you could refuse. You pick up your fork under his attentive gaze and bring one of the pre-sliced pieces to your mouth. You don't need to be a gourmet to know this is perfection. The crispness of the outside, the tenderness of the juicy center, and the way every spice is balanced just right. You've always known he was skilled in the kitchen, but this is flawless. Absolutely perfect. I've never had anything like it in my life. He doesn't just react to the compliment itself. What satisfies him more is that what he sees in your face, in your eyes. Even in the soft glow of the candlelight, you can tell the emotion welling up behind his gaze. Smiling, he leans forward to refill your wine glass. "I'm so glad to hear that, love." For the next minute or so, the only sounds are the rain tapping against the window and your utensils against the plate. Even Princess is absent, granting you both a moment of rare privacy. Continue eating. Your gaze drifts towards the window, noticing that the rain outside has picked up. The thought of car journeys in this weather begins to feel more and more unappealing. Besides, you're not exactly eager to leave this warm, peaceful home and return to your own small but chaotic studio apartment. You decide the breakup conversation can wait a little longer. To be continued. Okay. Oh! So the bar does matter, because I avoid breaking up with him. Interesting. Alright, let's see. Let's load here. Okay, so here the bar is completely full. So swing by the dry cleaners. No. Okay, wait. That lowers it. Interesting. Yes. Skip the dry cleaners. The priority tonight is clear. You need to have a talk with Soren. What you'll wear to your best friend's birthday party tomorrow, that's tomorrow's problem. You know Soren won't mind the delay, but you refuse to stack another lie onto this guilt. Besides, every minute you delay is another crack in your resolve, and if you don't do this now, you'll chicken out again. Okay. The metro door slides shut behind you, sealing the choice. It shouldn't hurt this much, just a stupid dress, just one missed party where your chest tightens anyway. You rush home, shower in a haze, and throw on something comfortable before sliding into the waiting Uber. Since Soren's place is quite far from the city center, you have plenty of time during the journey, and the question that has been weighing on your mind for days resurfaces once again. Is breaking up with him truly the right decision? If you were to bypass your indecisive reasoning and instead trust your feelings, just as you intend to tonight, you would find your answer crystal clear. You no longer want to continue this relationship. There's something wrong here. Something that simply feels wrong to you. Just then, your phone buzzes with a notification pulling you from your thoughts. Assuming it's a message from your boyfriend, you reach for your phone, but the name that flashes across the screen makes your heart involuntarily quicken its pace. Okay, this is Lars. This is the conversation with Lars. So, did I save this before? No, I didn't. So I'm gonna save that here. And then we're gonna see what response lowers or keeps the bar as is. Don't text him. You slip your phone back into your pocket and turn to look out the window. Right now, you have neither the time nor the energy to respond to that message or to dwell on what might be going through Lars's mind. You know the reason he's been creeping back into your thoughts lately is because of the emotional void and anxiety stirred by your decision to end things with Soren. You've experienced this pattern in the past relationships too. But the past needs to stay where it belongs, behind you. Besides, you're not even entirely sure you'll make it to tomorrow's birthday party. Thanks to your forgetfulness, you might end up avoiding Lars altogether, and if he's planning to be a pain, you'll be spared the unpleasant task of having to talk to him. Well then, feel free to pat yourself on the back for this dazzling display of optimism. Okay, the bar is still full. The bar is still full. The breakup is still happening. Okay. Okay. Return. Do nothing. Okay, doing nothing keeps the bar full. Don't ask about the condition of the dog. The last thing you want to think about right now is Princess. So you skip over any updates about her condition without a second thought. After all, she was the one who ruined your video call last night, the one that delayed this breakup conversation to tonight. The moment you step into the living room, the mouth-watering aroma of fried ribs spilled out from the kitchen, wrapping around you. A single glance at the table tells you everything. The careful arranged plates, the candles casting their warm glow, your favorite wine chilling in an ice bucket. It's painfully clear how much effort Soren put into the dinner, and the guilt inside you swells just a little more. How many of your exes ever cooked for you? Alright. Ooh, wait. This is new. Unfortunately, after your past bad relationships, your instincts won't let you put those rose-colored glasses back on. You no longer believe in fairy tales with white knights rescuing princesses from monsters. You quickly jump in, trying to come up with an excuse for your unusual long silence caused by your thoughts. Everything looks amazing. Even such a simple phrase is enough to make his eye light up. I'm so glad you like it. The food's almost ready. Do you need any help? No need, darling. I've got it. Please just sit and relax for a bit. After checking on his dog, who has now gone to her bed in the corner, Soren smiles at you and disappears down the hallway. While you wait for him, maybe you could do something. Okay, so I'm going to save it here, right? I've gone to the kitchen. What happens if I stay in the living room? Before such an important conversation, you need a moment alone to gather your courage. Taking a deep breath, you sit on the couch. The wooden display cabinets, drawers, trinkets, porcelain, everything in the room, like the rest of the house, still preserves the arrangements inherited from Soren's grandfather and grandmother. Everything feels so familiar and comforting. As the rain outside intensifies, the murmur of raindrops hitting the windows grow louder, and you find yourself feeling surprisingly peaceful, as if you truly belong here. You know by breaking up with him, you'll be saying goodbye not only to him, but to all these beautiful memories as well. Cut the sentimentality and focus on your decision. Look at the family photos. Ooh, I want to see. Look at the family photos. Oh no! That lowered the bar! Wait. Okay, I do want to look at the photos though, wait. Your eyes catch on the family photos scattered across many corners of the room. You've often heard Soren talk about his happy childhood, unlike yours. You get up from the couch and approach a console, picking up one of the framed pictures on top. It's an old childhood photo of Soren, and you're not surprised to see him posing with the same quiet, composed demeanor he has now. The young woman hugging him beams at the camera, radiantly beautiful and effortlessly charming despite her simple dress. You recognize her as his mother, who passed away from illness when he was very young. Behind them are his warm-looking grandmother and, in contrast, a large stern-faced grandfather, more serious than the others in the photos, but somehow still trustworthy and clearly the one Soren most resembles. After losing his parents early in life, Soren had been raised in the house by his grandparents, and he had always spoken of them with love. Though they're no longer alive, the love they gave him still lives on within him. Moments like this makes it hard not to envy him for growing up in a warm, loving, and secure home. Even though both your parents are still alive, that hasn't made a difference. You've always felt far removed from their affection. As you continue looking at the framed photos, something catches your attention. There isn't a single photo of Soren's father, who you know died in an accident before he was born. In fact, you can't even remember whether he had ever said anything about him. You're surprised at your sudden interest in the family of a boyfriend you're planning to break up with, yet a deep curiosity stirs within you. Ooh, we're going snooping. Check the photo album. You easily find the family album Soren had shown you a few times before, sitting next to heavy encyclopedias in one of the wooden cabinets. Your own family never had enough good memories to fill such thick albums, so these held a special place for you. Maybe you'll come across a photo of his father in one of these. Before flipping through the album, you don't forget to call out to him from the living room entrance. I'm going to take a quick look at your family album, is that okay? Of course, sweetheart, whatever you like, feel free. The sound from the kitchen are enough to tell you that he is quite busy. At least until he returns, you can pass the time flipping through the thick albums. Despite all the dust you end up inhaling, you find plenty of photos of Soren's mother as a child and young woman, and even as his grandparents in their youth. You also spot several dogs, much larger breeds compared to Princess, but no one who might be Soren's father. Just as you pull the album from the edge of the shelf, a small notebook wedged behind it falls to the floor. The illustration on the cover, a knight in full armor, on horseback, instantly reminds you of Soren's fascination with the medieval armor and weapons, and you wonder if this might be an old journal of his. Ah! Look inside! You set aside the photo album and eagerly flip through the notes pages, only to be disappointed when you realize most of it is filled with handwritten recipes. Oh? Definitely not a vegan's. Every dish features meat. Oh. Considering his grandfather was a butcher, you can't exactly blame Soren. The handwriting looks like his. But deeper in, small newspaper clippings glued to the pages grab your attention. Most are old, missing persons reports, incidents, suicides. You're puzzled. He has never been into true crime documentaries or films, unlike you, so why did he collect these as a child? As you skim, one headline stops you cold. Famous actor drives car off cliff, body still unrecovered. The accompanying photo dominates the page, likely because it made the front page. As someone who once took acting classes and still harbors that passion, the story pulls you in. Yet the longer you stare at the actor's face, the more unease prickles under your skin. Ugh, my fucking god, fucking dog. A soft growl makes you turn. This fucking chihuahua. Princess has left her bed and is now tugging at a photo from the album you left on the floor. Before you can stop yourself, you shout, "Fuck, drop it right now." You lunge for the album, but the dog, now defiant, rips the photo clean in half with her teeth. God damn it! Soren's footsteps hurry into the room. Sweetheart, what's wrong? Did Princess do some— Oh. You freezes, staring at the torn photo in your hands. I'm so sorry, I didn't even notice her coming. He takes the fragments, checking the date on the back. This was the last photo we took together. Before my mother died. Oh my god! Oh god, what have I done? Don't blame yourself. At least all the pieces are here. Maybe we can restore it digitally with AI. His voice is gentle, but his grip on the fragments is white-knuckled. You've torn more than paper. I really didn't see her. I know, just bad luck. He kisses your cheek in forgiveness, but you don't buy it. As he helps gather the albums and carries the fragments to his room, you know his mood is ruined. And you've barely been here half an hour. This is what you get for snooping through people's private things. Your final dinner with Soren begins like any other, despite the tension churning inside you. As the scent of the warm lamb chops you just served reaches your nose, you realize you're actually hungry. He takes a seat across from you at the table and offers an encouraging smile. I think the bar is low enough that I don't break up with him. Nope, I don't break up with him. Motherfucker. Okay, wait. Stay in the living room. Cut the sentimentality and focus on your decision. There we go. But this isn't your first time. Of course you can't compare your relationship with Soren to your previous ones. Among all your past boyfriends, he was the one who showed you the most care and attention. And he entered your life at a moment when you needed someone the most, proving that miracles can still happen in this world. Even so, that didn't guarantee your relationship would last forever, or that your feelings would never change. Just like now. You're grateful for having met him and for the time you spent together. No matter how he reacts to your decision to break up, that truth won't change. At least you hope it won't. Moments later, you hear his footsteps approaching the living room. And now everything's ready. We can move to the table, darling. Your final dinner with Soren begins like any other, despite the tension churning inside you. As the scent of the warm lamb chops he's just served reaches your nose, you realize you're actually hungry. He takes a seat from across from you at the table and offers an encouraging smile. Oh, here we go. This is new. There's nothing to gain from waiting any longer. You believe he deserves to know why you really came here. And if you delay it much more, you might lose the resolve to go through with it. You slowly set your fork on the edge of the plate and muster all your courage, lift your gaze to meet his. There's something I need to talk to you about. Oh no! A flicker of surprise crosses his face at the seriousness in your voice. Even so, when he speaks, his tone is just as soft and understanding as always. Of course, love. I'm always ready to listen to you. You take a deep breath, keeping your eyes on his. No stalling, no sugarcoating. I've been feeling like something's different lately about our relationship. Though the surprising expression deepens, he says nothing. He just watches you in silence, waiting, always waiting for you to finish. It's one of the things you've always loved most about him. And also, in this moment, one of the hardest to face. His way of truly listening, of giving weight to every word you say. But there's no turning back now. You have to follow through. This isn't easy to say, but I think we need to break up. The tension in the room is so thick, your words seem to hang in the air like smoke. His expression doesn't change, but you notice his eyes drift to his wine glass instead of staying on you. Return. You give him space, time to take it in. The sound of rain outside seems to grow louder, pressing into the silence between you. When he finally looks back at you, the warm light that always lives in his eyes is gone. I don't believe you made this decision on impulse, Mira, but why did I do something without realizing? Something that hurt you? His voice is so gentle, so considerate, that his response fills you with guilt, even though you know how deeply this must be hurting him. No, no, never. Honestly, it's quite the opposite, Soren. Out of all these men you've come and gone in my life, you are by far the best. Oh, is this where he's gonna show me that he can be the worst? The thought of losing you, it hurts me too. I did notice that the fucking bar, the breakup bar, was dropping the more red flags started popping up. Which, I mean, vibe, but also... Also, none of that changes the quiet certainty that breaking up is the right thing to do. You speak again quickly, not wanting to give him room to hope. This is about me, my feelings. I just don't think I can return your love the way you deserve. I don't think I can be truly happy in this relationship. He finally speaks, his voice quieter, more subdued. How long have you felt this way? Or rather, how long have you known? You hesitate. Knowing too much detail will do more harm than good, but you can't ignore his questions. Since things got more serious between us, but the last month, it's become something I just can't look past. I see. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry for saying this during a dinner you prepared so thoroughly. Or thoughtfully, sorry. But I couldn't keep it to myself any longer. You deserve to know. This time, the smile that forms on his lips is a little forced, wounded, but still kind. Please don't feel guilty, Mira. Of course we didn't enter this relationship expecting it to end this way. But not every relationship concludes as we hope. That's perfectly normal. It doesn't mean either of us did something wrong. You realize that by delaying this conversation for so long, you've only tortured yourself in a way, been unfair to him. In the end, your coworker was right. Soren accepted your decision with grace, effortlessly dismantling the baseless fear you carried for so long. Once again, your instincts, those that pulled you into the wrong relationships this time and time again, have proven to be flawed. He truly is different from all the others. In fact, he's perfect. And if you'd ever managed to escape the ghosts of your past relationships, maybe, just maybe, you could have quieted the part of your heart that refused to let him in. Things between you could have been so different, so much better. I'm lucky to have met you, Soren. You don't hesitate as you reach for the hand he gently extends to you across the table. The familiar warmth flows into you, melting away all the tension that had clung to you for days. In this moment, you trust him more than ever. And I'm lucky to have you, Mira. You've always been special to me, and you always will be. You catch the glow in his eyes grow brighter, but it doesn't last long. He gently pulls his hand back and slowly rises from his chair. Well then, I think we've come to a conclusion on this unpleasant but necessary matter. How about we continue dinner where we left off as good friends? I'll bring out dessert. This is about when the deranged phone calls and heavy breathing and fake gifting starts. Fake gifting? You mean body parts gifting? I'm pretty sure my ex is in the fridge, so I don't know how this is going. Before leaving the room, he pauses at the doorway and glances back at you. Of course, if you'd rather not stay, I can call a taxi to take you home. You narrow your eyes towards the clock above the fireplace. It's gotten quite late. Oh, you're right. Time really flew. I think it's better if I head home now. Seeing you rise from the table and gather your things, he offers to call a taxi for you. Oh, that would be lovely, but please don't go through any more trouble on my behalf. It's no trouble at all. He gives you a gentle smile before heading into the kitchen. You wait alone for the taxi, realizing he probably used the dessert as an excuse to be by himself for a moment. Even if your friendship continues, you know things will never be quite the same again. As you absent-mindedly scroll through your phone, you notice a message from your coworker. Are you okay? You decide not to reply, at least not now. You explain everything tomorrow anyway. Or maybe you don't really know the answer yourself. Are you okay? Shortly after, the taxi arrives. Huh. Soren emerges from the kitchen, holding a neatly wrapped package and walks you out. Just before stepping into the car, you glance back at him. Beneath the umbrella he's holding for you both, his face is partially obscured by shadow and you can't quite see his eyes. Maybe that's why. Even his usually comforting smile feels distant tonight. Good night, Mira. Good night, Soren. You slip into the taxi without delay, and soon you're leaving him and his home behind. Despite everything, a quiet sense of peace settles into your chest. You stay true to your decision. After a month. Did you make the changes I asked for before we sent it to the client? You're trying to stay calm despite your boss's usually irritating tone. Yes. All of them? Yes. Did you double check? Yes. Are you sure? Yeah. Now, why have they been calling me nonstop since the beginning of the meeting? Maybe they just like the sound of your voice. Your boss's voice starts composed and ends in a shout, casting sudden silence over the entire office. Why don't you answer the phone and ask them? Your unexpected reply draws a stunned look from your co-workers. Your boss's face flushes bright red with rage just as the phone rings again. He answers and puts the call on speaker. A familiar, dreaded voice fills the room. It's the client who had made your life hell lately. Hello? Hello, Mr. Miles. Sorry for the delay. I was in a meeting. Is there an issue with the proposal we sent? Your boss's tone is now softer than a purring kitten after a warm meal. No, quite the opposite. I just wanted to say how pleased I am with everything. The changes you made, though you didn't inform me in advance, turned out to be very appropriate and necessary. Thank you. Your boss's face goes blank with confusion. You, on the other hand, shoot a smug look to a smug I told you so glance around the room. Hello, hoodies, art and tea. Yeah. I'm chilling. We're playing How to Break Up with Your Yandere Boyfriend. So far, I haven't gotten murdered, so that's pretty nice. How was stream? What were you streaming? It doesn't say. Welcome in, raiders. This might be a little bit different than what you were watching before. What does it say what you were streaming? I don't think so. No, it doesn't. Right, not getting murdered, right? I'm pretty sure my ex-boyfriend was in the fridge though. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. How are y'all doing today? Welcome in. I play visual novels, I play horror games, I play FPS games, pretty much anything that gathers my attention. I was playing Deltarune and finally beat Jevil, and then played Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Ah, okay. I've not played Deltarune or the... Oh, what's the actual game called again? Undertale? I haven't played either of those yet. I heard good things about them though. But also, I know time zones are a thing. I don't know how long you were streaming for. Like, if you have to raid and run, feel free. Don't worry about it. Same thing to the raiders. This is definitely not Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. So if it's not your vibe, I get it. But thank you for raiding. Thank you for thinking of me and for leaving your community with me. Oh yeah, boy, not bot. No, I know what you mean. I know about that game. I think I have it. I just never played it. Because it has the second game, right? Recently in the last year, the second game came out. It's very fun. All right. Oh boy. Oh man. I fucking... Oh. How are you, Sleepless? Ah, you got a daily snack. Very nice. Alright, let's see. Maybe I become a snack at the end of this fucking route. How are you? We're alright. We're chilling. Playing visual novels today. Mostly because I have a session 0 later on today for a charity stream, so I didn't want to play anything too intensive brain functioning wise. And later on, which is to say tomorrow, I'll be playing Baldur's Gate with a friend, so today's just a chill day. I'm gonna head out now because I'm pretty tired, but I hope you have an amazing rest of your stream. No, thank you for raiding. Thank you for like showing up and for chatting for a bit. Have a good rest. And yeah, thank you for being here. Let's see if we die. You, on the other hand, shoot a smug look a smug "I told you so" glance around the room. I'm glad to hear that. Unless there's anything else, I need to take care of something urgent. Of course, have a great day. Your boss swallows hard a few times, clearly lost for words, before deciding to pretend nothing happened. Oh, okay. He takes a sip of his coffee, only to grimace. Ugh, cold. Anyway, let's not drag meetings out like this again. That's all for now. He's such a jackass. As the meeting ends and your colleagues start filing out, you rise to leave, but your boss's voice stops you. Mira, could you stay a minute? You ignore the meaningful look your coworkers throw your way and comply. Once everyone else is gone, your boss turns to you with a surprisingly softer expression. That was good work. How would you feel about grabbing dinner sometime? No, absolutely not. This is a bad idea. You pause a little too long, thrown off by the absurdity of this meeting and how it's now delayed your work even more. Is this a surprise business dinner? Oh, no. So we're not meeting a client? No, I mean yes. I mean, no client. Then I'll go ahead and book the usual table for the team. Your boss's face immediately returns to its usual strictness. For God's sake, Mira, no client, no team. I'm talking about just dinner, just the two of us. Oh, now I get it. Thank God. So, how about tonight? No. Your boss is momentarily stunned by your swift and definite response, but continues. Then how about Saturday evening? Thank you for the offer, but what I meant was that I don't want to have dinner with you, neither tonight nor on Saturday. For the first time, you witness your boss blushing from something other than anger. It was just meant as an apology. I mean, I had no other, I'm sure. But you really want to apologize, please do so in front of everyone at the next meeting. Just like when you scolded me a moment ago. Unless there's something else? No, of course not. You're free to go. Leaving your thoroughly embarrassed and confused boss behind in the meeting room, you return to your desk where your coworker immediately pounces on you with excitement. What do you say? Tell me right now or I'll die of curiosity. I'll never forget the look on his face when the client thanked him over the phone. I wish I had taken a photo. Wait, did he actually apologize to you? As you sit down and toss the files onto your desk, you mutter, "Worse, he asked me out to dinner." Just then, your coworker, who was raising her mug to her lips, spits out her sip. What? Calm down, you'll choke. Under the strange look of a few people passing in front of your desk, you help her clean herself and the desk with a napkin. Ignoring the coffee stain on her shirt, she immediately turns back to you. Oh shit, I never thought he was the type. He seems like a true workaholic who didn't care about anything except the clients. But look at that, even he found out about your breakup with He even found out about your breakup with Soren. So what did you say to him? No. Your hand hesitates briefly from wiping the table at the mention of Soren's name, but you're certain your coworker didn't notice. Of course I turned him down. Oh really? You did the right thing. Still, you know, for someone so angry and annoying, he does have a bit of a charm, and he's rich. If you had gone to dinner, we'd have had enough gossip material to last us until next promotion. It would have been fun to see his flirting skills. If I were in your place, I don't think I could have said no. Maybe the you from a year ago, before you met Soren, wouldn't have said no to that invitation either. There was something deeply alluring for you about getting an offer like that from a man who was always angry, difficult, and irritating. Ah, you just love the red flags, huh? No wonder the fucking bar dropped the more red flags you uncovered in his house anyway. But now, even while reviewing the job applications every evening, you don't even think of your boss. You're still thinking about Soren, aren't you? You abandon your efforts to clean an invisible stain on the desk and let yourself drop into the chair as your coworker continues. You didn't expect him to accept the breakup so easily. You thought he'd resist, try to convince you that you still love him. Just like the other men in your life did. The only difference is they didn't really mean it when they tried. Did he contact you after the dinner? Any call or messages? No. I guess it's for the best. Before the silence had a chance to stretch further, your coworker quickly jumps in again. You're right. Did you see the last email from the boss? The same old nonsense. But there's this one thing. Even the relief of having most of your work done by the end of the shift doesn't lift the strange hollowness inside of you. After saying goodbye to your coworkers and leaving the office, instead of heading straight to the metro, you start walking down the street. Something in your life feels off. Before breaking up with Soren, you thought it was your relationship. Now, you're not so sure what it is. You move aimlessly through the crowded street, drifting like part of the current. You consider calling him. Oh? Even though the fact that he never tried to contact you after that night makes you think the breakup was the right decision for him too. Maybe. Maybe this time, you could be the one to take the first be the one to make the first move, okay? After all, since things didn't since ugh, since things didn't end badly, calling him just as a friend wouldn't be so strange. Wouldn't it? Oh my fucking god. Just then, your eyes catch a tall man in a black hoodie in the crowd. For a moment, you almost think it's him. But you're certain he wouldn't be here, at this time, just like that. Still, something in you insists that the man who disappeared so quickly was Soren. Your silly thought is interrupted by your phone vibrating in your pocket. You check it and see a message confirming that the job interview you faked being sick to attend last week was successful. We're thrilled to inform you that your application for the digital marketing specialist position at Bloomwise Media has been accepted. Congratulations. Contact and then nothing. A good position and a good company with good pay. Finally. Your joyful outburst draws a few stares from passerbys, but you couldn't care less. You feel like you're on cloud 9. Now, you can finally focus on your career instead of men. The thing that's been making you feel wrong lately must have been this awful old job and your uncertain career. Your new job is going to be so good for you. Right? New ending unlocked, neutral ending A. A fresh start is waiting for you, but are you really sure? Neutral ending A. Oh, okay. How did I say what kind of endings there are? Oh, endings. Neutral ending C. What the heck is neutral ending C? Ah, alright, this is a demo. Makes sense. So I'm guessing the murder endings are not here. It seems there's only the neutral endings. I wonder what the neutral ending is like if you fully 100% don't break up with him? I don't know. No, because that's not neutral, is it? Hmm, I do not know. Hmm, interesting, interesting. We did not get murdered. Turn the tables. What do you mean turn the tables? Yandere them back. I don't think this character has Yandere in them. The main character, that is. There was another game I played where all the love interests are yanderes. At the time, there was only 2 routes. I think it has an update where the third guy is available, but I'm not sure. Not really.